Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Too Good to Be True podcast. I am your host, Pascal Mayala, and we are continuing talking about what's going on today, sport or maybe culture. We're going to talk about later, or sneakers. It depends what topic I'm going to talk about. But right now, I would say thank you very much who subscribed on my podcast. I'm so grateful, and the people who follow me, who's not yet subscribed on my podcast, Too Good to Be True. You can still subscribe at Spotify, Apple Music, and Google Podcast Manager. So I'm very proud of. Now, let's continuing um talk about the comparison between the men college basketball and the women basketball in college. Um, I was listening Chris Broussard and Rob Parker on their show about uh um college basketball for men is pretty much dying, and the woman college women basketball is rising. And I would say that that's kind of a little bit true in a sense of um of the season. Right now, um, if you look right now, the men's basketball, who you can name the players right now? Can you name a player who will be in the NBA draft right now? You see, other than Bronny James, I take him out of the equation. Who do you think who will be the bigger name in men's college basketball? In the storyline, let's say this, in the men's college basketball. No one. Nobody. Not even one. Like I said, if you take away Bronny James, and I know um he doesn't have the greatest stat, but at least his name is James because he's the son of LeBron James. Other than that, zero, zero. It's not interesting. But if you look into the women's college basketball, it's more entertaining to watch the women's basketball than the men's basketball, because you can name players in the women college basketball such as Juju Watson, who, by the way, shout out to her, Juju Watson. Um, she dropped, I believe yesterday, she dropped 50 points, something like that. She dropped what, like what? Like what? She dropped 50 points? Something, I believe so. No, 42 point, my bad, sorry. 42 point against the Colorado University. You can name Paige Bucher, Caitlin Clark, Andrew Reese, Flojo. I mean, there's storylines too, because the storyline too for the women's college basketball. Now, March Madness is approaching. There's a storyline for the women college basketball than the men. And this is not a disrespect for the men basketball, but the women are balling, and there's a storyline. For instance, for people who don't understand what I'm trying to say, the storyline. What's the storyline for them college men basketball? Nothing. Compared to the women's basketball, there's a lot. I'll give you an example. For LSU, can the LSU go back to be going back to the final for the final NCAA championship? Can they win another one? Can Caitlin Clark win the NCAA championship in March Madness? Can South Carolina can South Carolina go to the finals and win the NCAA championship? You see, there's stuff like that that people try not to understand. And I'll tell you what, shout out to the woman. Shout out to the woman basketball. Shout out to her. Shout out to the women's basketball. Because I've been telling you what, and this is my honest opinion. I enjoy watching the women's basketball than the men's basketball. And if we want to keep 100, so anybody trying to, I'm not diminishing the men's basketball, but but in this season it's not interesting other than the March Madness. That's gonna be interesting, you know. Or an example for another one. Can UConn go to the national championship? You see what I'm saying? So this is my opinion about the woman compared to the woman basketball to the men basketball in terms of college right now. Now let's talk about what happened yesterday game. There was a lot of games in the NBA, and it got a little bit chippy between the Pelicans and the Miami and the Heat. In the fourth quarter, there was a lot of chippiness between the Pelicans and the Heat, like I said. So what happened? For those who living under a rock, Kevin Love grabbed Zion Williamson, really dropped him politely, and he didn't get a foul call. And all of a sudden, a fight breaks up between Miami Heat Jimmy Butler against I believe his name, what is it? It's Marshall. Yeah, Marshall. Yeah, Marshall from the Pelican, and you can see Marshall try to grab his neck. Actually, Jimmy Butler tried to grab his neck. Then Marshall grabbed his neck, and things got escalated. It got escalated to the announcer table, and they tried to separate it. And then I think it was 1 minute later, Jose Alvarado, and Thomas Bryant get into a fight. I mean, you can see, and this is hilarious to me. Thomas Bryant, I believe he's like what 7'1", 7 foot. I don't know. I believe he's a 7 foot, but I don't know. But I think it's that height versus Jose Alvarado, who's smaller, and they were throwing punches. Now, if you look close at this video, too bad I don't have a YouTube channel, but you can see it on social media. It's released on social media and YouTube. If you can see, during the fight, a Pelican fan throw a cup, I believe, on a Heat player. Then I don't know, it was the security or Heat player throw it back, and then the Pelican fan throw him back. I mean, that was crazy. That was very crazy to see this. But also, there was a Heat fan who got escort out of the building because it was chirping and yelling at a Pelican fan or a Pelican player. He got escorted out of the building. So he's never gonna come back to the arena again. Now, what what the league is gonna do about it? I know the four player got ejected. Like we said, Jose, Jimmy Butler, Marshall, and Thomas Bryant. All the four got ejected. I don't know what the league's gonna do. I think they're gonna suspend them. I don't know. Let's say I think minimum between 3 or 6 game. In my opinion, I think Jimmy Butler will be suspended. I would say 3 games, 3 or 4 games. Same thing for Marshall. No, for Jose and Thomas Bryan, it's gonna be interesting because to me, I think they're gonna suspend them 7 game, in my opinion. So this is my opinion. I didn't get the source from the from the NBA or somebody told me, but I think it's going to be in the range of 7 game suspension. That's what the league is going to do. Now, before I talk another topic that I want to talk that I want to talk about, there were another game that got a little bit chippy, and that was the end of the game of the Charlotte Hornet and the Golden State Warriors. After the end of the game, things got chippy. One player's trying to de-escalate the situation, and and you saw the rest of the fight, but this is what Draymond Green gotta say. I wish I had the quote with me. Let me check on my Twitter account. I'm gonna look on my Twitter account. What did Draymond Green said about Grant Williams? Hold on, I'm just trying to look for it. Trying to look for it right now. Yeah, I tried to look for it. Hold on, give me a couple of minutes right now. I'm gonna look for it. Yes, this is the quote from Draymond Green, and he said, "Miles is my guy. Y'all know that's my little brother. So I'm not gonna sit here and go in on Miles. Miles can do wrong to me, but Grant Williams gotta stop it, man." And this is the one he said a couple before the other one I'm gonna say about Grant what Draymond Green said about Grant Williams. I believe he says something about I can find it. I'm gonna look for it because hold on. Give me a couple of minutes. There was a quote that he said. I'm trying to look for it. can find it. I have to look through for the latest. Sorry, my apologize, people, because sometimes I'm not prepared. Sometimes I'm not prepared. Yes, that's what he said. He said, okay, I found it. He said that stop y'all the tough guy stuff. That's what he said. But he also had it at the same moment that that's why and this is me paraphrasing what I'm gonna say. He said that that's why the when you talk too much, the team will not something like that not gonna trade you, something like that. This is me paraphrasing. This is me paraphrasing. But I'm gonna say this: Draymond Green need to stop. I mean, Draymond Green need to stop to talk about other people and and Austin River, not Austin River, sorry, Austin River, um, had something to say about um about Draymond Green's comment. And if I can find it, I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna look for it. I have to look for it. God. Sorry, my apologies, people. Damn. I'm gonna look for it again. Let me look for it. Yes, Austin River says something about actually reaction of Draymond Green calling um, Grant Williams fake tough guy. If I can read, if I can find it, what he said. Yes, this is him tweeting about it. He said, "Say what you want about Dre, but he's not lying. And you know what? If if uh, if if Austin Rivers said it that he's not lying, and that Draymond Green said it, maybe they're right about Grant Williams. He's not a tough fake. He's not a tough guy. But to me, it just nothing to me. I'll be honest with you, it's nothing to me. But I will say this: I believe that there's 13. This is Grant Williams 13, so he's better not mess it up. Now that's that's all I'm gonna say about the drama for in the NBA today. Now I want to talk about the NFL free agency, because this is going to be interesting. And I'm trying to look. I know who's going to be in the free agency, and that the player probably going to play from other team. I just recently saw that that um that T Hagen from the Cincinnati Bengals has been franchise tag, which I will say it. I will say it with in a whole god green earth that the franchise tag uh doesn't belong in the NFL. They should get rid of it It's pretty not it's unfair for the players to be franchise tag on those players. But before I continue, I just want to do. I have a breaking news right now from Adam Schefter, and he said that former Commanders offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy is finalizing a 2-year deal to join UCLA staff as an assistant head coach offensive coordinator, which is great for him. But I wish, and I'll be honest with you, that he should get an opportunity to be a coach in the NFL, because we've seen a lot of black head coach don't really get any opportunity. They don't get any opportunity to prove themselves that they can be a head coach in the NFL. So I would say good luck for him. Wishing nothing the best for Eric Bieniemy, and I hope we will see him as to be a future head coach in the NFL. Now let's talk about the NFL free agency. Now I try to look who's in the NFL free agency, and I know that Mike Evan, he is in the NFL free agency, I believe, and I think he, not only him but Shaquan Barkley, T Higgins, like I said, Kirk Cousins, what I said, Russell Wilson, maybe Justin Field, and let's consider him in the free agency. Now, let's say this: which team that player needs to go? In my opinion, I'm trying to look for it. And even Chris Jones, who's in the free agency. Now, I try to look at it from my research. There's a lot of players who's going to be in the free agency, but let's focus on the people that I just mentioned. Let's start with the quarterback. Let's look at uh uh Kirk Cousin, because he's in free agents. Where do you think he's gonna play? Because I looked at it. Kirk Cousin has signed $6 million in total. I'll be honest with you. So his dead cap is like 28 million dollars according to my research. So where do you think the market values him? Which team do you think that he will play? In my opinion, if you ask me about this, Kirk Cousin, to me, in my opinion, I think Denver will make a lot of sense, because one thing, and I said this for many times, with Sean Payton, he's a QB guru. The magic that he have with Drew Brees in New Orleans and won our first Super Bowl. Yeah, I'm a Saints fan too. You're gonna learn a lot of new things about me. Yes, I am a I am a Saints fan, a diehard Saints fan, and I would die hard with with this team. Now, I think I think him and Sean Payton makes total sense because of uh he loved, if you know about Sean Payton, he loved to have veterans QB who can fit in the system. Because last season, him and Russell Wilson, I don't think it didn't click as well that everybody thought, and so that's why they released him. They released him. Now, for him, we will talk about Russell Wilson later. But as like I said, um, um, Denver Broncos. It makes total sense to me. It makes a lot of sense. Now, my second player is going to be Chris Jones, defensive lineman for the Kansas City Chiefs. If he goes, it will be a bummer. If we stay, the dynasty continue. To me, I would say this. Why do you want to leave Kansas City Chief? I mean, you won a Super Bowl. I know you want to get the max money. To me, he should stay. There's a great quote a lot of people will say. Stay where the grass is green. So if I'm Chris Jones, if I'm Kansas City Chief, I'm resigning him and I let the dynasty continue. That is my that is my thought. Now, my third player, Mike Evans. Where do you think he will go? Remember, Mike Evans did have 1,000 yard in his 10 consecutive season, which, by the way, he joined the Hall of Fame, Jerry Rice. And I'm sorry if I didn't put name the stats for like Kirk Cousins and um, and Chris Jones, but if Mike ever leave the Buccaneers, where do you think he will play? I know there was a lot of option that I saw from him. If he don't want to get traded, he stay with Kansas. Stay. Actually, sorry, my bad. If he stay with the Buccaneers, that will be fine. If he's a free agency and and that um and that he goes for example, like a Kansas City Chief, or a true contender, because the NFC South is it's very bad. It's very bad. It's very bad, for him to to um, to go onto a bad team. So I can see him, Mike Evans, go to a contender like the Chief in the AFC, or maybe he can go to New York That would be great. That would be great for him. Next, but before I continue, to me, for him, I think he will go, but I don't know where. I think Kansas City Chiefs makes sense. They need a true wide receiver after this. Last season, the wide receiver couldn't catch uh, not with with their hand. I'll be honest with you, they can't even catch. I mean, they didn't even catch a basketball for crying out loud. That's how bad it was. But to me, I think the Chiefs make sense to be a true contender if he wants to win another Super Bowl. The other name I want to say, I think that was three. My fourth player, Odell Beckham Jr. He's a free agency now. He signed. Remember, he signed with the Ravens for 1 year, and now he's a free agency. Where do you think he will go? Do you think he will stay for less, or, or do you think that he will go somewhere else? So to me, Odell, to me, Odell, he, I think he will probably resign with them, in my opinion. But I'm not gonna be surprised that he will go somewhere else into a contender. Maybe do you see him go back to New York, playing for the Giants, or playing for the Jets for Aaron Rodgers? Probably, I don't know, but it will be a honeymoon. Now, now my third, I think my fifth player that will talk that which player I'm talking about is Derrick Henry, running back, actually former running back for the, actually he still play with the Tennessee. Well, play for the Tennessee Titans. He's a free agency. Which team do you think he needs to go? I think there's two teams I can see him play. One is the Baltimore Raven, because the Raven are a team. Their identity is defense and run, and it makes perfect sense because they love to run the ball. I think it'll be a good fit. The other fit I can see is the Dallas Cowboys. As much as it pains me to talk about them again, but the Cowboys need a true running back. I know Tony Pollard is an exceptional a running back, but to me he's like a gadget running back. So when I say gadget running back, it means that he can play running back, but also he can be a wide receiver. You know, same thing when we talk about the show, the greatest show on turf. Remember the St. Louis Rams, the 1999 St. Louis Rams, if you remember that. So to me, they can use like that. Remember Marshall Fox. If you remember, he wasn't just a running back, but he can play a wide receiver also. That's a fair comparison. So this is the both team I'm talking about. I will talk about. So those are my five players for now. But we will talk about other free agency. So we will still continue talk about other players too. But let me add just a little bit of bonus just for the people who want me to 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 add up. Saquon Barkley, where do you think he will go? Do you think he will stay? Remember, he signed that 1 year deal with the Giants. And and I do think he's gonna franchise tag him if I'm not mistaken. To me, I think Saquon Barkley one have to stay with the Giants. I cannot see him with other team. I cannot see them playing for another team. So Saquon Barkley is staying with the Giants. But remember, we're still going to continue to talk about it. Now, I want to talk about something that happened during a concert. During a concert of an artist, if a concert of a Afrobeat artist. Excuse me, I had to say I had to find his name. Let me look his Twitter. Let me go back to my Twitter because I got a lot of thought about this. So there was a concert of a Afrobeat artist named Oman Lay, and during this concert, this um Oman Lay stealing other men's girl during a concert and doing the unthinkable. What she did is is dancing in the during the concert and doing a performance on my own leg, and you can see that that woman is trying to do the dance, trying to dance on this girl, and you can see that the curtain. If you see the I know I've seen it a lot. I've seen it with Michael Jackson concert. You know, when the curtain is pretty much down, you can see the circle of it doing a move on her. I think she did a move on her on that on Maole, trying to do sexual move on the on Maole. But this is what they do. Performers do that all the time. Artists try to do that all the time, and sometimes they try to play on it at the crowd. And during that, the man, if you look at the man, he's pretty much chuckle. When I say chuckle, I mean he got a smile on his face, but at the same time, I'm like, man, what did I do? What is she doing? She trying to embarrass her. After the concert, after the concert, you can see that he's walking alone, and I believe that's her girlfriend. So the girlfriend with the leather pants, tried to talk to her friend, and one of the friends said that she was wrong. She was wrong to doing that on your what on your man. You embarrass your man. And Twitter went ballistic. And not just Twitter, but TikToker too. And I believe it was in, yeah, it was in London. I believe he did his concert in London. And you can see a lot of Twitter were very not happy. And they felt sorry. And they came to his defense. And I gotta say this, and this is my opinion. I think the woman should be embarrassed of herself. I mean, this is an embarrassment. And I don't blame the boyfriend. I believe their boyfriend. And to me, when we talk about those three or four women, which I'm not really into that, I'll be honest with you. That's those kind of stuff with women that to artists, it consider as a distrust. We consider that as a hoe. She's part of those three or four women who you know wants all the boys around her, and 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 want to enjoy life and not having the kids in the future, something like that. To me, those kind of women are not women to be married. I'll be honest with you. Those women should be single and the rest of their life. And if I was the boy, the boyfriend if I'm the person who's dating her, I will break up immediately. If you don't know, if you don't agree with me, look at what happened to Kiki Palmer and his relationship with his baby daddy. Now they're divorced. Baby daddy. Look at what happened. She did a move on Usher, and everybody went ballistic on her. And you know I'm a huge Kiki Palmer fan. I'm a huge Kiki Palmer fan. But what she did, it was totally wrong. What Kiki Palmer did, and also the woman too. She should be ashamed of herself. So that is my opinion on this one. Woman like that should not be wifed. If you wifed her, just dumped her. But that's a bad advice. Yeah, it is a bad advice what I said. So to me, the boy had to break up with her immediately. That is my idea. Now, another topic I want to talk about. And by the way, if you want me to continue talk stuff like that, just send me a tweet, something like that. After the end, I will talk about it. About my where you can follow me. So another thing we want to talk about, um, that I want to talk about is something that's pretty much dear in my heart. Normally, I don't really talk about it that much. It's I'm more about mental health, and it's very rare to that I actually it's not rare. I do express my depression on social media. When I talk about mental health, I'm not talking about I'm not talking about when when I talk about mental health, I talk about what's going on in my life. But I don't really talk about my life because I'm a private guy. I'm a private guy who don't really talk much about my 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 problems. And maybe I will discuss it more in the near future. Right now, I was watching. Actually, I didn't finish watching the DeMar DeRozan uh, 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 dinner table interviewing Draymond Greens. But to me, when I talk about mental health, I talk about something that's going wrong with me. Look, I can have my good days, I can have my bad days. But sometimes I could get my bad days in life. So to me, I'm not gonna specific give you a lot of detail, but I will say this: if anybody who get depressed about or got anxiety, let just let you know that you're not alone. And sometimes I need help in life. So if you're not, I will talk about it in the near future. This is just a specific basis right now. For now, then maybe I will talk about my mental health in the near future. So tonight, in the world of sport, we have three games that will happen tonight in the NBA. We have the Orlando Magic versus Detroit Pistons. We have the Boston Celtics versus the New York Knicks, and we have Brooklyn Nets versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. Um, to me, this is the three NBA game. If you're a hockey game and MLB, I just want to say that spring training camp already started, and they have I saw they had a preseason game. If you love baseball game, you know this is for you. Now we addressed also, so we got 11 minutes. So I saw a tweet about the injuries of future after the um on social injuries of future after the college basketball. and she's wrote something on Twitter that that I will read right now, and she said, and I quote, "Should I stay? Should I go? I don't know." Because right now she's trying to uh, um um maybe she was gonna be in the WNBA draft. I think she will be. I'll be honest with you. And also, what I saw another on Twitter, that LSU that said that Andrew Reese will be honored on March 3rd for a senior day against Kentucky, which is going to be great. If I'm Andrew Reese, I will make my bets on being on the WNBA draft. That's my opinion. Even though we have the issue with the money in the WNBA, so if I'm Angel Reese, I'll be declaring my name on the WNBA draft. And now, if you're an NHL game, if you're an NHL fan, um, there's a lot of games going on today. You have the Washington Capitol versus the Florida Panthers, the Boston Bruins versus the Vancouver Canucks is playing right now. The Las Vegas Vikings versus my Ottawa Senators, and the Maple Leaf versus the Colorado are playing right now. If you're a hockey fan, so this is gonna be the end of the of this podcast on this podcast. If you want to follow me on on social media, you can follow me on Twitter on Belly versus PMM. So you'll see my name, Pascal M. Mayala. On Instagram, Pascal underscore Mayala underscore 15. Same thing on Threads. If you wanna subscribe on my podcast, you can subscribe yourself on Spotify, on Apple Podcast, and Google Podcast Manager. So until then, I'll see you later.